What up, though? And welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man, Curt. Today we look at some top 30 visits. Who's been in the building at Allen Park? And we look at the history of top 30 visits and who the Lions have selected who have been in the building pre-draft. If you like the content, man, like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans just like yourself. We are on our way to 3,000 subscribers, and we are currently sitting at 2786. The Boss Up Ball Out podcast merch shop is now available. You can find the link in the description below and on the homepage of the channel. Put in the code Boss Up Ball Out 10 at checkout. When you spend $45, you get 10% off one item. Like I said, we'll be rocking some samples of the gear real soon right here on the channel. Now, I promised it over on my man Coach Dan's show, and I got a special guest coming in right now. It's a young up-and-coming Lions content creator. It's my man Chicken Nugget King 313. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing this morning? I'm feeling good, feeling great,
Doing good, man. Now tell people how you got started in Lions content creation.
See, I got started doing, Lions content creating when I was working with Smoking Jeremy B, and went ahead and did some work with David Pike, who does Motor City Mania. And that's when I was joining their panels and started, understanding more and more of the game and understanding, what we do as a team and how we can go as a team. And it's not just only that, but the fact that I've been a Lions fan for a long, long time, and seeing the ups and downs of this team, brought that, energy to me, and it's giving me that energy to give out to the team and what we're going to do going forward. So hopefully, you enjoy what I do, and I'm going to keep on doing it.
Yeah. Now, shout out to my man Smoking Jeremy B. If y'all don't know, Smoking Jeremy B started out doing content with us over on Detroit Lions on the Prowl. He started out doing the Free for All Fridays with us over there on Detroit Lions on the Prowl, and then he blossomed into his own show. So shout out to my man Smoking Jeremy B, man. That's my guy. And we actually gave him the nickname Smoking Jeremy B. So that's how far we go back with my man Jeremy over there on his channel, man. That's my guy. Now, how did you get involved with Lions Nation Unite?
Well, I definitely got to give, credit and shout out to Easy. Shout out to Easy, shout out to Chrissy, shout out to, Herman Moore. They were the ones that really pulled me in and got me in the chance of getting into Lions Nation Unite. They love my energy, and they love my, enthusiasm and, my smarts and knowledge of, ins and outs, and not only just ins and outs, but the way I can use, the X's and O's great, and not only just the X's and O's great, but to use my brain, all in the same frame, just doing me. You know what I'm saying? They like when I'm doing myself and doing what I can do to contribute for, LNU. So, I definitely got to give credit to them for bringing me in and making me a part of the team.
Okay, that's what's up. Okay, now we have to ask you, because I know it's creative. How did you come up with the name Chicken Nugget King 313?
Well, I actually created the name myself, and I thought of ways of how to be catchy, how to be creative, and how to be making sure that people like the name, and not only just like the name, but to be into the name and say, hey, this rings a bell, let's roll with it. Chicken Nugget King 313. I just wanted to make sure that this name was just catchy, creative, and it stuck, so I love it. And I love chicken nuggets. That's the name where it came from. So I love chicken nuggets, and I'm a king of that. So, I can't take that away from myself and what I do.
Definitely. My son's a chicken nugget king because he loves chicken nuggets, especially from McDonald's. So yeah, ain't no thing with that, man. Hey, you guys know April is Autism Awareness Month, man. And I rock my autism awareness gear from my son, Curtis still the third, man. I see him rocking my autism awareness beads right here. And I rock the shirts, man. So make sure you support autism awareness, man. For those on the autism spectrum, make sure you visit your local autism society and see what you can do. See how you can give back to those with autism and affected by that disorder, man. So make sure you do that and check that out. So now it's time to talk Lions, man, because we came here to talk Detroit Lions. If you're new to the show and you don't know how our show works, we look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we give them that big blade dance with a boss up. If we disagree, we say they are barred on, and we give our takes of why we agree or disagree. For live shows, we do a little differently. If you agree with what we're saying, you put hashtag boss up in the chat. If you disagree, you put hashtag barred on. Tell us why you agree or disagree, and we'll put it on the screen if we have time and talk about it together. No hot takes here, just natural debate and our true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Now, the Lions have been busy hosting top 30 visits at Allen Park for players for the pre-draft visits. So before after the combine. So let's look at some players that they had in the building pre-draft. So you got Chaz Chambliss, my man Josiah Stewart from Michigan. Now, this is a big name because my man Coach Jones picked it in our mock draft. He picked Greg Zabel out of North Dakota. You got running back Lan Larison from UC Davis. Of course, we already talked about him. So we'll talk about Jonas Skinner, definitely Sanker from Virginia. And then we look at Tyler Williams out of Ohio State, defensive tackle. A very popular name in Detroit Lions circles as far as maybe they go and get some depth at safety with Jalen Reed, a Detroit native out of Penn State. Isaiah, I think it's Tesla. I don't think it's Tesla, out of Arkansas. Yeah.
Tesla.
And then it's linebacker Q Robinson out of Alabama. He's that kind of 3-4 outside linebacker, kind of that. I don't know if he's I think he's more of a Will than a Sam. So those are the guys have been in the building that have taken pre-draft visits for the Detroit Lions. Now, let's kind of take a look at this process, right? Now, pre-draft visits are key for NFL teams for several reasons, right? They allow teams to meet players face-to-face and then help assess their character and the locker room culture. Teams also perform medical checks and evaluations. These visits include drills, interviews, and look at some players' football smarts and skills that's not on game tape. Plus, they build a personal connection to communicate better with the player who joins the team. With many teams interested in top prospects, showing general interest and can help influence the choice of the player. So let's look at some of the recent top 30 visits that the Lions have had and who they have drafted and out of the top 30 visits. In 2022, they drafted two players that have top 30 visits, Aiden Hutchinson and Kirby Joseph. In 2023, they drafted three, Sam Laporta, Brian Branch, and Hendon Hooker. And they even got even more in 2024 with Terry Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, Jenny Emmanuel, and Sanon Vaki. Now, I'm a shoot over to you, Chicken Nugget King. Do you think that the Lions will pull the trigger on one of these guys in the top 30 visits and draft them?
If it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it. That's what I see it as. I see it as a way of, if we do pull the trigger on one of these guys, I think we got to make sure it's very, clear cut and clean and precise and not just out there just to be out there. Because you got a lot of GMs that are looking to draft ahead of you and get the guy that you want, especially when they're doing like 30-day visits. So you're going to really have to, jump up on it and get down to brass tacks, make sure your pick is right, make sure the selection is right, and where you're at in the rounds that you're drafting in. Because whether if it's round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4, you just want to plan ahead and make sure you don't get lost in the sauce. I think that we're definitely going to take a chance on it. We're going to, pull the trigger and, probably Chase Chambliss. I think Chaz Chambliss will be a good fit for the Detroit Lions. Quay Robinson, I think he could be a stellar, player for us, using him off the wheel, in a 3-4 situation. I think it's only right that we do take, chances the right way, not the wrong way, but we got to take things the right way and just pull the trigger the best way we could ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it back up. Look at these guys, man. I think that you could get a guy like a Sanker or a Reed. You're looking at the Lions' safety depth. They have two great starters, but their safety depth is a little bit lacking. So I think that those two guys could be guys that they can look at bringing in on the roster and being being able to contribute, especially if, like I say, if one of those guys, if Kirby Joseph or Brian Branch have to miss extended time, we can definitely look at either one of those guys to be able to fix that issue. Definitely. So, I mean, the Lions, of course, man, like you said, they have targeting some guys, and we're going to talk about trading up or trade down here in a second. But looking at the draft, man, I'm pretty sure that one of these guys, at least one of these guys from the top 30 visits, will definitely be on the roster here after the draft. So, but hey, I'm gonna give you a message from our guys over at Dubby, and I'll be back in about 1 minute. The Boss Up Ball Out podcast is sponsored by Dubby Energy Drink. My favorite flavor is Irish Stripe, which brings you a blue tropical punch flavor. You know we keep it Honolulu blue right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast. It's the ultimate fuel for conquering all that is ahead of you. Here are some benefits. Get laser focused with green coffee fruit extract, which is the star of the show because it helps you concentrate. The drink provides brain food with L-taurine, L-tyrosine, and L-glutamine, and L-citrulline, which is all selected as the best amino acids that enhance brain function. It has the most brain-boosting vitamins such as B3, B6, B12, and vitamin C. The energy comes from 150 milligrams of caffeine per servings. No sugar. That's a big thing for your boy Curt. You know I got that type 2. The sugars. No maltodextrin or artificial colors or dyes. No fillers or BS. Costs about $1 per drink, which beats your coffee or canned drink beverage price. No crashes or jitters or anxiety. You can find the link to buy Dubby in the description of this video and use the code BossUpBallOutPod, all caps, at checkout to get 10% off your order. Take on the day with Dubby. All right, we're back. All right, so let's look at who's in the chat this morning, because we haven't said what's up to everyone in the chat this morning. So let's get in it. All right, my man Moon Scar Blaze said, "Good morning, Boss Up Ballers. Let's go. Let's go, my man." My man Lauren Vanner Esch, Michigan Panthers Pride. Good morning, bosses. What up, though, man? Can't wait to meet Coach Mike Jones this Sunday. Hey, man, Coach Jones is excited about that, man. So make sure you holler at him. Y'all post a picture on social media so we can post it on the show, man. That's what I'm talking about. Definitely. My man Brent DeWitt, salute my fellow veteran. My man Brent DeWitt is in the building. Hookadoo says, "Good morning, bosses." Good morning to Hookadoo. My man Broski Bear. Oh, yeah. What's going on? Lady Lions in the building. Good morning, Boss Up Ball Out crew. Coach Dan is in the building from Lions Talk Live. What up, though, Coach Dan? And our LNU partner over there. And shout out to the Nugget King, man. I got a shout out in the chat, man.
What's up? What's up?
Man. Smoking Toupe is in the building, man. Talking about Smoking Jeremy B. I seen that Moon Scar. What's up, my man? That's LL Cool Torrance right there. WTMN TV Entertainment. What's going on? Henry Moore says, "Good morning, everyone." Definitely. So you can catch Broski Bear on Smoking Jeremy B's channel from time to time. We will definitely do that, man. Detroit D said, "What up, Curt?" Hey, what up, Detroit D? I heard it's your birthday, brother. Good morning and happy birthday to you, too. All right. Co-worker just brought McDonald's breakfast burrito to me, man. What a day I'm having. Well, that's fuck. And put some hot sauce on that burrito. You know what I'm saying? All right. Trim Reaper said, "Let's go." Lions, what's going on? Trim Reaper, that's my guy right there, man. Good morning, LL. All right, broski. Fellow Bear fan from the Philippines is hoping you get drafted in a couple of weeks. Said so this morning. Okay. All right. All right. That's a weird. David Gretzky said that. Okay. Good morning, Moonscar from the Trim Reaper. All right, Trim Reaper says, "I need some breakfast myself. I'll be having some breakfast here soon myself." We start a little early here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast on Fridays, but we do 30 minutes or less on Fridays, man. So, we're going to get that breakfast here soon. All right. All right. Michigan Panther said, "I wish I could, bro, but I appreciate that." Oh, talking about being at the swing at the tailgate this weekend. Okay. I get you. Drinking my blue Dubby. Hey, thanks for drinking that blue Dubby, man. Appreciate you right here, man. Definitely. Shout out to Chicken Nugget King from Broski Bear. We're still going to smack the Bears this Broski Bear. Broski Bear is our resident Chicago Bears fans. If y'all don't know who he is, y'all know, man. Definitely. All right. So
Oh, the Bears.
yeah. So
Thumbs down.
JPJR uh the guy we're gonna trade up for. Okay. Okay. Detroit D, you should check out the Huddle Sports. Yeah, they have some good content over there at the Huddle Sports Network, man. So go check those guys out. Definitely over there, man. Definitely do that. All right. And then, of course, the Trooper saying good morning to LL Cool Torrance, man, in the building. I usually use Sriracha, but they had was mild picante. So that's a hot sauce on that burrito, baby. If y'all don't know what that is, man, go check out next Friday. That's where that reference come from, man. And from the late John Witherspoon. That's my guy right there. Okay. All right. So here's the question, right? And this will definitely be interactive with this, right?
Right.
The most I probably would say this. One of the biggest mysteries this offseason for Detroit Lions fans is will the Lions trade up or down in this year's NFL drafts? There's been a bunch of several conspiracy theories about what Brad Holmes will do. We saw LNU yesterday post a video saying that with Brad Holmes dressed up as James Brown, talking about the big trade back, saying that the Lions won't stay in the first round, the Lions will trade back. The Lions have 7 draft picks this year. I don't think all of those guys are going to be used, man. I don't think all those picks are going to be used. My thought is the Lions are targeting a player in the first round. They're targeting a guy, and they're targeting a guy in that middle of the first round. And I think that the Lions are going to have a problem keeping everyone on the roster if they use all the picks. So they don't want to waste those picks. So they're going to use that draft capital to move up in this year's draft to pick a guy in that mid part of the first round. I don't think it's a trade back. I think it's a trade up. So, my man, Chicken Nugget King, what do you think? Do you think it's a trade up or a trade down for the Lions?
Uh, trade up, trade up. I think there's going to be a trade up to get either Jahad Campbell or Mike Green. I think Mike Green might not fall like to that top 15, top 20 spot, but I definitely would like to see us go and just get a guy like Jahad Campbell because Jahad Campbell definitely got some ball in him, and he definitely could ball. He's a great player. Athletic, smart. He's very familiar with Brian Branch, very familiar with Terrion Arnold because he's a Bama boy, So Brad likes Bama boys. I definitely see him going after him. But who knows? It's just playing your cards right when you're a GM. So when you trade up, make sure you get the guy that's there. If he's there, get him. If he's not, trade back and he'll probably be there for you.
Now look at this guy. Look at that Green and Campbell. Those are Sam outside linebackers. The Lions play. Those are 3-4 outside linebackers. The Lions play a 4-3 system. You think these guys can build? They can put the weight on to play a 4-3 defensive end type of style because that's what the Lions play. They don't play a 3-4. They don't play smaller outside smaller edge rushers. Now because you got a guy like Derek Barnes who is a Sam and he's about the same size of those guys. They're about a little over 6 feet, 6'1", 6'2", and about 245 pounds. That's right around the size of that size that Derek Barnes plays. And you look at traditionally who they've had opposite of Hutch. They've had some guys that are around 6'4", 6'5", 270, 265, 270 and up. So what do you think that about having those guys that are smaller come into the system?
You know, you can be small, but at the same time you can play a tall game. You got to have a big heart. You got to have the right size. You got to have the right ability, the smarts, the traits to get down to business and get to it. And whether if it's a 4-3 or a 3-4, it's all about making the right play. It's all about adjusting at the right time. Whether if you're in the linebacking core or the DB room or in the front seven of the defensive line, so to speak, you just got to make sure that if the play is there, make the play. Doesn't matter if it's 3-4 or 4-3. That's all I can say to it. Like, but a 3-4, from what I've seen, if I could say this, if I may, from Spirit of Detroit, He definitely broke it down the right way where it's like when you're playing a 3-4, it's something that you work off of from like different any other systems because there's too many other systems out there that can play it, but we got to get used to that. And if we want to win games, we got to go ahead and say, okay, we can switch things up and go 3-4. But if we want to, stay neutral to 4-3, we can go with it. So um, I think we could really do good in a 3-4 situation if we're getting, Sam, Will, or any guy, So it's all about making the right play at the right time.
Right. And yeah, but when you're playing at certain systems, you make sure you gotta. This is my thought. I think you got to make sure you have the right personnel to play
Right.
that system. So if you don't have the players to play a 3-4, you just can't just arbitrarily just kind of switch if you don't have the personnel to play it. I get what you're saying. I got it. We do have a question from the chat for you, so let me let you answer that. So here you go. What do you think about staying at 28 and drafted either JTT out of Ohio State or offensive guard Tyler Booker out of I think he's out of Alabama. So and then are you sold as a 3-part question, right? So JTT or Tyler Booker at 28 or Mahogany as a starter?
I'm definitely sold on Mahogany being a starter. That's for starters because he definitely had a solid season last year, protected pretty well, played in some big games when needed. If guys were down, he stepped up pretty well. So I definitely believe in him as a starter, and he could contribute for the offensive line. I'm not mad if we do go get Tyler Booker and stay put at 28, and then add a little bit more sauce to the offensive line if we feel like it. JT is definitely a hell of a player out of Ohio State. He could definitely get to the run game and just get after the quarterback. Just listen to the protection and just play well. And he's very effective at tackling, very effective at just getting the pass rush, effectively. Being a pressure starter. So he's definitely got a lot of grit to him, and I definitely think he could definitely fit our team. He has the look for sure.
Yeah. To be honest with you, for me, I'm more sold on JTT coming out of Ohio State than I am Jack Sawyer. So I like JTT. So yeah, that's definitely a guy that I would select. So let's definitely check out what else is going on in the chat, man. They saying Brad's trading up. I think he is too. I just think that like I said, there's not enough spots for all 7 guys on the roster this year. So Hookadoo says trading up. He said Brad is Alabama slammer. Yeah, we sure have a lot of Alabama guys, them Bama boys on the roster, man. What is it, the last 3 years or something like that? He's added an Alabama player for the last 3 drafts. Like everyone has been at least one Alabama player added to the roster. So you looking at it, what is that? You got Jameson Williams, then you got Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch, and then you have Terry Arnold. So you're gonna get one Crimson Tide player in the draft. I've said it's going to be Malachi Moore is maybe one of those guys on the back end of the draft that we may bring into the Lions. So you're gonna bring one of those Alabama guys in, and you look at what he could bring as far as backing up Kirby Joseph because Moore plays a lot of cover one or that deep safety. So yeah, I like him definitely. Uncle Buzz says trade up twice and then sit down. Okay. That's an interesting take. Okay. I feel you. I feel you. All right. So I was just to mention the Spirit of Detroit's breakdown. Go check it out, man. Avery Giovanni, we gotta have him back on, man. We got our signals
Big
crossed.
shout out to Abe.
Yeah, man,
Big
that's
shout
what
out
I
to
do,
Abe.
man. So I'm gonna be over there and he's gonna be over here real soon, man. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. So JTT over Green, please. Okay, I get that. Mahogany is going to be a fixture on the offensive line for years. End up being a 6th-round steal. I believe that as well, man. You look at how he came in. He played a hell of a season last year, man. And as LL calls him, Big Strebo, he does a great job. I love what he does on our offensive line. He's just nasty and gritty. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from my man over there, Christian Mahogany. Moose Cobbler said JTT sets the edge and doesn't look to play out of position. Seems to me he breaks down his pursuit at the point of attack and then strikes like a viper. Put his man down. I like his discipline more than I like Jack Sawyer's. Like Jack Sawyer plays with a high motor at times, but he's not very disciplined in his pursuit, and he can get like get people get outside of him sometimes. So I agree with that 100%. Moonscar Blade with JTT.
Definitely,
Brick
I agree with that as well.
he said roll pride. I
Roll
like that.
pride.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. Well, man, Trooper says we're trading up for all three picks we make in this draft, in my opinion. I think so too. I think they make about 3 or 4 picks, and they're all going to be trade ups. I don't think it's going to be a trade back for the Detroit Lions. Well, we say Lions take a late round flyer on Broski Bear as a gap filler off the bench. Okay, Broski Bear. All right, here, this one for you, Chicken Nugget King. Come watch Panther Pride this weekend. Great content over there, man. If you follow the Michigan Panthers, go check out my man Lauren Vanner Esch over there on Michigan Panthers Pride.
Yeah, I haven't been to a Michigan Panthers game. That's crazy, but I haven't been to one. So I've heard, good things. I heard positive things about the UFL. I think it's like a minor leagues for the guys that haven't gotten the NFL, and guys that's trying to better themselves and better their game to get back in the NFL. So I think that's a good look. But big shout out to the Michigan Panthers. They're playing hard. They're doing great things, and we're happy to have them in the city.
Yeah, I like me some Michigan Panthers, man. I'm old school. See, I'm 53, so I remember when the original Michigan Panthers was in, when they had Anthony Carter back in the old school USFL, man, and they were one of the first teams to win a USFL championship. I think they're the last pro team to win a championship in the city of Detroit. So it was in Pontiac. So yeah, love myself some Michigan Panthers, definitely.
Hey,
All right,
hey, you way back in my you way back
yeah,
before me.
yeah,
You way
yeah.
before me. So I mean
Yeah.
that happens.
Yeah. All right. Trent Reaper says mahogany is the real deal. I believe that 100% as well. All right. Trent Reaper. they laughing. All right. So he said, come check out a game. 22 ticks. $22 buys you the ticket. All right. Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
And
not bad, not bad.
thanks for the plug, Curt. Hey, man. I gotta do it for my guy Lauren Vanner S, man. And that's my guy. He blessed me with that JG jersey earlier this year. So I always gonna support, man. Working with Novo to have him on the show. Okay, that's what's up, Novo. And you look at those players, man. Our kicker, man, Jake Bates came over from the UFL, man. Came from the Michigan Panthers. He was booming those 60-yard kicks over there in Ford Field. So that's why we had him in the building for a tryout, and he's stuck, man. He's one of the best stories in the league last year, man. What is that? He was supposed to be what was he, a brick salesman, or he hadn't even
Yeah,
got to
yeah, he was a brick salesman at first. I
brick
mean,
salesman.
if we may talk about Bates before we get into other segments,
Yeah, yeah. Go
um,
ahead.
I think that Bates, his game is all about making it money. He's just a money maker. When you're back there and you're kicking those field goal kicks, you got to be a money maker. You just can't sink it, you can't blow it, you can't miss it. When the opportunity's there, just make the kick. And when we watched him from afar making those 60-yard kicks, we were all in like wow, like in awe about how a guy could kick from 60 yarders, because we haven't had that since Jason Hansen or Prater, Matt Prater, for that example. So it's been a long time since we got that. And now that we got that, I think we're just, good at kicking and getting field goals and making threes. So that's a good thing. We got that monkey off our back to make it happen.
Definitely. My man said, take care, boss up, ball out. Okay, Hookadoo. We see you made it better, man. My man Lauren Vetter S. Michigan back saying, man, I seen him hit a 62 from right in front of me. That's what's up, man. Okay, here we go one more time for Chicken Nugget King before we get out of here. What are your top 2 positions you'd like to see Brad Home address early in the draft? So that's to you.
Uh, I definitely would like to see us go edge first, and then if we feel like we can't let Mahogany start just yet, I think we can go offensive line. It's very flexible. It's a flexible draft because offensive line looks good, wide receivers look good, DBs look good, DNs look good. The safeties looks good, and I wouldn't mind us getting a Jonas Sanker. I think that kid could definitely fall at least like second, third round, maybe. It's just me. That's just my opinion. Don't rain down on with booze and any of that in the comment section. I understand. It's just my opinion, but to teach its own. It's a lot of diamond in the rough players that could get selected in this draft. A lot of guys that really have that potential, that it factor, that could come in and show up and show out. But But I think we do have to address the safety position too. I just want edge and offensive line to get started first, though.
All right, man. Yeah, I know how we get down on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast on Fridays, man. We do 30 minutes or less like old school dominoes, man. If you haven't done so already, make sure you follow the crew on your favorite social media platforms. Coach Jones does a great job over there on Wolverine Sports Talk. He does his boxing playlist over here, Beyond the Rope. So make sure you check that out. I post content from this show on all of my social media platforms. And my man LL, who's in the chat, man, go check him out. Maha Media. And go check out his other Instagram page because Thirsty Thursdays was down. He got down yesterday for Thirsty Thursdays. All right, my man Chicken Nugget King, tell them where they can find you and your content.
You can find me here on YouTube at Chicken Nugget King 313. I'm at 310 subscribers. It's just a good start, to get things going and whatnot. And you can find me on Twitter at Chicken Nugget King 313. I follow back. That's the platforms that you can find me at. Instagram, Chicken Nugget King 313. And hey, there you have it. Just holler back and I got you.
Man, and definitely check him out over there on Lions Nation Night, man. He does some great content over there, man. Does some great shorts, man. For me, definitely, man, thank you for starting your Friday, your Feel Good Friday right here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for organic debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. If you're having a good day, please spread that joy because you never know when a small, kind word can make someone's day. If you're not having a good day, don't spend no less of joy. What you got?
Hey, hold up. I just want to say shout out to the team, LNU, and shout out to Easy for giving me the interview at LCA last night. Big shout out to him. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny, pretty cool. He had a mic drop and all that at the Pistons game. Big shout out to the whole crew, the whole team. Shout out to you, Curt Steele. Keep on doing your thing. Legend in the game. One pride, man. All love to Detroit. Love you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, man, whatever you do in life, you gotta boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Chicken Nugget King, this is Curt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.